If you want to walk away from your Thanksgiving meal and feel really well in your body and feel a sense of contentment, I'm going to share with you a 3-step approach that's going to help you feel really balanced even after eating your Thanksgiving dinner. What is your approach going into your Thanksgiving meal? Whether you realize it or not, we all have our own beliefs and attitudes or approaches to the meal. And whether that's not giving it much thought at all, or telling yourself you're just going to eat whatever you want and worry about it later, or maybe you are really concerned about how much you're going to eat and feeling bloated and stuffed and you're worried about feeling that way. Whatever it is, you can make the choice. It's one meal and it really doesn't make or break anything, but there is a way to eat more balanced even on a day that's surrounded by food and really revolves around a feast, if you will. So if you'd like to shake things up and try something different this year, I'm going to share with you a 3-step approach that's going to help you find more balance with eating on Thanksgiving Day. What is that? For the toilet? Oh, is that the one that sings? Ryan just walked in with this. This is the I sing and speak when you enter the bathroom.
Ho, 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 who's gotta go? Ho, 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 who's gotta go?
You're cute. Okay. Holidays like Thanksgiving have a heavy food focus. And while it's not all about the food, it's a big component of it. Of course, there's family and getting together with people who you might not see very often. Maybe you're traveling, maybe you're hosting and you're focusing on preparing every detail perfectly, making sure you have the right beverages, making sure that you have the right foods for your cousin who's gluten-free. All of these little added details can add a layer of stress. And although the day can be wonderful and lovely, ultimately when we have these additional responsibilities, that stress can affect a lot of things. And I bring this up because stress is has such a major effect on your eating. It affects what you're eating, it affects how you're eating, it affects when you're eating, and when we're not in our usual routines, we're thrown off a little bit. So we pair that then with maybe not having the most balanced eating habits in general, and then we step into basically a feast, and it becomes the perfect storm of eating without really paying attention, and then we're kind of left feeling unwell, maybe physically, and also just guilty for not eating the way that we think we should be eating in our minds. But we don't have to let that be our fate. So this is why I wanted to share with you the first step in this 3-step approach to eating in a more balanced way on Thanksgiving Day. And the first step is to set an intention. I mentioned it before, we all have a certain mindset going into the day. And if we're so caught up in doing all of these extra things, we sometimes don't take that second to pause and think about how we're actually feeling, when was the last time we ate, what our body really needs right now. And that can, in itself, can be enough to really change the direction of how you're going to show up and eat at that meal. This is not a big ordeal. This doesn't take a ton of time. This isn't some big ask. It's just hard to remember to do it. And so if you are someone who likes to write things down, or if you like to journal, this can be a great prompt to do before you go into the meal. Or if you just like to take a second before you sit down to the meal with everyone else, even if it's stepping into the bathroom where you're by yourself and you just set that intention of eating more balanced, it can be a wonderful way for you to be more present at your meal. Or it could be a different intention that maybe speaks to you more. Maybe you want to be more present and converse more at the table, or maybe you want to make sure that your plate has a variety of colorful foods so that you're nourishing your body in different ways. Or maybe you want your intention to be focusing on eating a wider variety of colorful foods like orange sweet potatoes and carrots, or red cranberries, or green Brussels sprouts, and you know that getting this different variety of colors is going to up your phytonutrient intake, and that's going to create a more nourished and balanced plate versus just focusing on eating the meat and the potatoes. Whatever your intention might be, it's just having that one little moment to pause, because it took a lot of effort for you to actually get to, even if you're not hosting, to get to the table and sit down and make your plate. It took effort to get there. And so that moment allows you to bring presence and awareness to your meal, which can help you find more enjoyment and also help you find more balance. Step 2 is to savor every bite. When we think about all of the food, sometimes the quantity is overwhelming and we're not as much focused on the taste and eating more slowly. Maybe there's a lot of people there and you're worried about how much you're going to be able to have of each of the different foods and getting the food that you like the most, or like the sweet potato pie, whatever it is. Allowing yourself to slow down and savor the food that's on your plate can be a way to bring more presence to your meal and allow you to eat in more balance with your body so that you're more in tune with how hungry you're feeling, how much you're actually enjoying each of the different foods on your plate. So savoring every bite in itself can be your intention for that Thanksgiving meal. And so you've set your intention, you sat down to the meal, you've savored your food, you've enjoyed and tasted everything on your plate. The final and third step is to reflect on your food choices. So if you are quick to judge what you ate and say, I ate terrible, I ate too much, I shouldn't have eaten all that, I'm not going to eat for days, I need to go on a diet, it goes on and on and on. If you find yourself doing that, that's a signal that you need to take a pause. You need to be kinder to yourself. You need to remind yourself that this is just one meal. And also, how could you have felt better? Or do you feel really content based on how you ate? This is just a time to check in. It's not to judge, it's not to be critical or analyze things, but just to make that connection between how what you ate left you feeling. If you do feel physically unwell, movement can be great, and it doesn't have to be like punishment in the form of going to the gym the next day. You can get up and go outside and take a stroll and just move your body. Even just getting that fresh air can feel really great. And then if you are someone who likes to take pen to paper, journaling can be wonderful. This can be just another experience, another exercise in trying to eat and find more balance with eating. And you don't have to be so hard on yourself, because none of us eat perfectly. We all overeat from time to time, or we all eat things that maybe don't leave us feeling as well, but that doesn't mean that we have to be hard on ourselves. We could just take that information and put it in the bank, learn from it, so that next time we can make choices that are in more alignment with how we want to feel. I hope my 3-step approach helps you have an enjoyable Thanksgiving dinner. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.